So what I mean when I say that ancient wisdom is a path toward Gnosis. Gnosis is a path that's taken very seldom because a lot of people are consumed in this dogmatic worldview. What's up, everybody? It's Forrest here with Gaussian Forrest, and in this video I'd like to share with you on ancient wisdom, the teachings of the ancients, and how Gnosis relates with this, because so many people fall into this trap of intellectualism in terms of having a belief system so rooted in a certain religion or belief or faith. And I think this could become very dogmatic and can really rule over somebody's life in terms of their own worldview and their own personal path toward, the divine. And what I want to do is unpack that, because I think a lot of people really follow a particular religion because that's all they've known in their life. They grew up, we'll use Christianity because it's the most common, and they're labeled a Christian because of their own programming, the way they were brought up in the world, so on and so forth, and brought into the church. There's nothing inherently wrong with this. The only thing that I have a problem with personally is Gnosis isn't a path of blind belief. Blind belief alone can be dangerous, because if there's no way of being able to experience it for yourself, validate that which is the belief itself for you personally, then how is one supposed to simply have that deep-rooted faith in their own particular belief system? And I understand this is a sticky subject, but I think it's also important to realize the situation we are in the world as a whole. The state of humanity is in terrible suffering, and a lot of this has to do with fundamentalism and some of the false dogmas that go into religion in general. However, what I'm more interested in is acquiring Gnosis, which is your own personal experience of the divine. And this is a much more empowering viewpoint and a perspective when it comes to unveiling the secrets that are hidden within yourself. That's another thing, is like fundamental religion teaches you is to seek outside of yourself, that the source, divinity, whatever word suits you most, right, is somehow external and you are less than. This is a terrible, terrible reality that most people find themselves in, because you just begin to go down through a negative loop when it comes to your own thought patterns, your belief systems, the emotions that you feel less than. And this is not an empowering way to be. However, if you take the path of Gnosis, you do particular practices in order to reveal these things that maybe you were taught, maybe you heard of, right, in religion or in friend groups and things like that. And by doing so, you can find these things out for yourself. And of course, the best way to do that is in meditation. In meditation, you can go beyond the intellectual mind, the reasoning, analytical mind. When you can pierce beyond that, that's when the hidden secrets can be revealed to you. But the thing is a lot of people are they have this fear, inherent fear, because it's like it's the fear of the unknown, right? They're so familiar with what they can see, touch, hear, taste, and smell. I think that was all the senses. So we're only, and that makes total sense, right? Because we live in a physical reality, and most people only associate with themselves of the five senses because they've never had a reason to seek beyond that. The reason to seek beyond that is to achieve your own personal knowledge of the divine, because this is where true empowerment, true self-mastery comes from. And you can only do that when you begin to go beyond the ego, the false self, the many layers of falsity that we have within. And when you do this, that's when you begin to achieve your own personal gnosis, whether that be through the practice of meditation, particular mantras, vocalizing mantras, certain like runic practices, which are specific postures associated with mantras that inherently draw energy in from nature. I mean, these practices are very powerful to aid one in the ascent for a higher spiritual evolution, because that's really what it's all about, is being more spiritually evolved and elevated, and just growing as a person, growing as a soul, as a spirit. And in order to do that, we have to break free from the constraints of some of this fundamentalism that is only rooted in the physical world. And even if you pierce into science, quantum physicists actually know that. No, actually everything is energy. At the root level, at the fundamental core, beyond the atom itself. The majority of the atom itself is 99.99999% empty space. And so it's in that realm is where you can find and reveal your own personal gnosis in your own life. And this to me is the absolute key when it comes to empowering yourself, empowering your life, and really living the life that you want to live, creating your reality, mastering yourself, because I actually distinguish between the two. And so I just invite you to question things deeply. Never be swayed left to right because of what somebody tells you or what a religion tells you. To think for yourself, to have critical thinking. Now, this is a lost art in today's world. Most people don't know how to think for themselves. Rather, they are being imposed upon thoughts. Outgoing thoughts are coming in. And one thing leads to another. If you understand the cycle of how the subconscious works, right? And the subconscious governs up to 95% of our life. And if these thoughts pierce into the subconscious mind, they become who you are, right? And it becomes a pattern, a belief system that impacts your life. It impacts your worldview, your self-concept, how you see the world, how you feel internally. So I just invite you to question everything. Don't take things by face value, because that will get you to a heap of trouble, spiritually speaking. So with all this being said, I'm going to end the video here. If you truly enjoyed this video and you grabbed value from it, all we ask that you do is like the video, always comment below as well, and letting us know what you thought about today's video. And as well, we have a Patreon as well with these sort of subjects that go deep. And you actually have early access to the videos that go live to the public. So if you're interested in that, definitely check in the description below and take full advantage of that. And so with that being said, we truly hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll speak very soon.